I think just to continue to build our togetherness and build our chemistry, and just really tighten up on the little things that we think that we're going to see in the playoffs, and just start to prepare our minds and our bodies for that run that we're getting ready to make.
You start to prepare your mind already.
I think just putting yourself in there, even though we're not there yet, just mentally having that focus and starting it early. Like you don't just flip that switch when it gets playoff time. Like you start to build those habits now, start to have those conversations now, and yeah, you just playing like you're just playing as if every game is super important and you have goals that you want to achieve within the next 5 games and steps that you want to see improvements on that you think you'll see in the playoffs. So I think those are the biggest things.
Is clinching home court one of those goals right now you guys have in mind?
100%, 100%.
Obviously, you guys play next Friday. I think now what happens is it could be a first-round matchup for you guys mentally. How do you guys go into tomorrow night and focus on the matchup?
Yeah, we're locked in. I mean, that's definitely something we're all aware of. But we're definitely locked in on this matchup, and we're preparing ourselves, like this is the playoffs. So we're excited about it, but we're locked in though for sure.
What have the playoff veterans told you, Lamar, specifically about what to expect when you get to the playoffs? Since there's no way to really duplicate it in the regular season.
For sure. I mean, we just talked about how it's a slower paced game. How it's really just about the details, and that's really what matters the most. Teams who are able to execute and be more, detail oriented and make the least amount of mistakes are the teams that are going to win. So, that's kind of what we've just been focusing on, and having those conversations about late games, spacing wise, and where dudes like to go, and which way dudes like to drive, and stuff like that. So, just really a lot more of this detailed conversations on, just how the game is going to be played.
As somebody who takes so much pride in the defensive end of the floor, if you had an opportunity to talk to voters for Defensive Player of the Year, what would your case be for Evan Mobley?
I think that he just completely changes the game. Not just his ability to guard bigs, but not only smalls. Just his length. Even when he just contests shots and doesn't block them, it's very hard to score, and it's very you don't see that very often. I think he's like first in win shares on defense, and I think just analytically, he's a top tier guy in the league, and then on top of it, I think we're the number 1 defense or number 2, leading the number 1, the first defense in the league, and he's anchoring it. I think that's a pretty clear case to me.
How much do you pay attention to those deeper analytics?
Not very much.
Why do you know that one then?
I think I seen it on Twitter one time. I was like, man, that's impressive. But yeah, I don't pay too much attention to it.
To your point about the pace slowing down in the playoffs, I think you guys are last in pace in terms of you guys play the slowest. How do you maintain an effective offense while playing? I know it has a lot to do with defense too, but how do you maintain a good offense in a slower paced game?
I just think it's just the talent we have. We have Donovan Mitchell, Darius, Evan, J.A., Karras, guys that are super talented on the offensive end, that they can score at any pace. So it doesn't matter to us if we slow the game down. We know that we'll be able to get the shots that we want. And it's able for us to control the game, especially when we have, our 2 big lineups in. It allows them to be a part of the game, so it's not just up and down for them too.
I don't know how much experience you have guarding him, but why can't anyone box out Josh Hart?
I've guarded him a couple times. I think he's just relentless, and guys don't like that physicality. I think he's a really physical player. I remember him at Nova being physical like that too. So I think guys just don't like that physicality, and I think maybe he's playing the 3 or 4 over there. I just think that's really it. He just goes hard to the paint.
Physical how? Sorry. Physical how? Is he shoving? Is he running hard?
To me, it seems like he's strong. Even when I just watch him attack the basket, I think he just goes, really hard, to score. And I think he probably has that same mentality, attacking the offensive glass. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do against us, though.
How do you feel about your alma mater hiring Mike Rhodes?
I thought it was a really good hire. Seeing his resume, seeing all the things that he's accomplished. I think, just the deal that he got, it shows that, our AD and our school is behind him and believes in him. So I think it's going to be a really good step in the right direction for Penn State basketball.
And go on Jimmy's question, with the physicality Josh Hart plays with, is that a mindset thing, or is it just how dudes are wired?
I mean, I think everybody has their advantages. Some guys are, super long. Some guys are super athletic. Some guys are just super physical and athletic. So I think it's just about, just taking what, God's giving you and, what you've worked on and using it to the best of his advantage. And I think that's just what he does. But it's definitely a mentality thing, too, knowing, like, this is what you want to go get and this is how you want to impact the game. So definitely think it goes both ways.
Mar, when you watch opposing defenses guard Don, or if you match their practice in
Yeah.
4-5, why is he so difficult to guard?
I think he's super difficult to guard because, he can score on all 3 levels. He's super strong. He has a really tight handle. So even if you come to double team, that's not really necessarily stopping him. He's able to split the double teams at a really high level. And then on top of it, he can, go up and finish with the best of them. And he can go and finish, both hands, both ways. So a guy like that, and then on top of it, he's so strong, he's able to get so low to the ground that guys can't even, get near the ball. So, a guy like that is just, he's a juggernaut offensively.
Don's spoken so highly of you throughout the season. What's he kind of meant to you throughout this particular year, and what kind of things has he kind of pointers, whatever it may be?
Yeah, he's meant a lot to me, for sure. I haven't had the opportunity to play with like a superstar in his prime. We have upcoming superstars and, Darius and Evan, and I think Fro's up on an upcoming superstar too. So, just having his knowledge of the game and his experience in the playoffs and just his belief in me has definitely meant a lot to me, just in my confidence and just believing that I can do, certain things. So, I think he's been great for everybody, just his knowledge and, his success that he's had in the league. He's never missed the playoffs. So having that knowledge and, him being able to pass it down and being a young guy who's still super easily relatable to everybody, it's been great. And he's really uplifted this team and uplifted the people around him.
Is he one of the guys that's saying that everything's going to slow down? Is there anything that he's particularly told you guys to lock in on when it comes to postseason time?
Yeah, he's been huge just on just the details because, it's going to come down to possession by possession in the playoffs, he says. So just every detail matters and just executing, the plays that we decide to run or the sets that we're running, just how important that is to really the outcome of the game. So, and he's been big on just watching film, with each other and talking things through and figuring out who likes to be where and what do you like to do when you're in this position and stuff like that. So it's just the focus and the details have been probably the biggest thing that he's been trying to pass down to all the guys.
Going back to when you said, obviously your goal to secure home court advantage, how big of a confidence boost would that be just to know that you guys have been locked up?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a huge confidence boost because, we're really good here. We're a hard team to beat at home, and with our fans behind us, we believe we could beat anybody. So just having that, you want to have every little advantage that you can have, in games like this that are going to, come down to the little things. So being able to be at home and, be comfortable and, have our crowd behind us is definitely a huge confidence boost.